Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Dogecoin, what has happened to it recently, and where I predict the price to go to in the near future, as well as some key price levels and some trades I'm looking to make. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you appreciate the daily content on this channel and you've not yet done so already, be sure to hit the subscribe button for me. So without further ado, let's talk about Dogecoin, what has happened to it. And for that, we're going to get the annotations back up on the screen. So of course, yesterday here on Dogecoin, we managed to stay in this area, this 14 cents zone here on Dogecoin. We peaked out just a few days ago here at nearly 16 cents, and the price is holding up fairly strong in this area. Of course, if we go onto Elon Musk's Twitter, he has recently made a tweet that's kind of a little bit cryptic, but it kind of suggests that he's working on integrating Dogecoin straight into Twitter. So if we have a look at this tweet here, Twitter speaks to the inner masochist on all of us. Sorry if I butchered that word. And someone responded with a quote tweet of him, but you have to pay it in Doge. And obviously his response was this eye emoji here. Now that's quite cryptic. It doesn't outright say that he is going to implement Doge on Twitter, but it keeps all the bullish Doge investors and traders guessing. And of course, that was 9 hours ago. So we saw this price action as that occurred here. So, all eyes are still on Elon Musk, and Dogecoin is faring really well. Of course, if we have a look on the right here, Doge is still trending here on Twitter, as Elon Musk was. I can't find him anymore, but he was trending on here a second ago. So Dogecoin and Elon Musk were trending all on Twitter here at one point just a few hours ago. And that helped keep the prices at this level. But now, as you can see here, what we have actually just done is break below this triangle. So this triangle we've broken below from, and of course, a price target from a triangle is the first test of resistance and support. So, if this triangle does end up playing out, we could see the prices go down a little bit further to this 11.5 cents region if this triangle does play out. This triangle here wasn't the strongest triangle because, as you can see from this resistance, there's only been two tests, one in this region and one in this region here. So not the strongest triangle, but if it is respected, then this is the price target I'd immediately look for. Now, talking about all the other indicators that we are keeping our eyes on as well, we have these three moving averages that I want to talk about first, because of course, as you can see, this 50-hour moving average, the one closest to the price on the way up, has now been undercut, and we had our first candle close below this 50-hour moving average here on Dogecoin. So if you look previously, the price has dipped under but managed to bounce up every single time it's gone underneath this 50-hour moving average. So on several occasions when the price has come below, it's always shot back up. But now we're seeing the price starting to find its ground below this 50-hour moving average. It's still above the 100-hour moving average, and it's still above this bullish trend line. So that is good news. So we're still above some other key moving averages and this bullish trend line that I have drawn. So that is a positive sign in all our pieces of evidence as to whether we're bullish or bearish on Doge. These two point to us still being bullish. So we're above this trend line and we're above the 100-hour moving average. But a sign of concern is this breakdown from the triangle here, and that we've crossed below this 50-hour moving average. And if we just have a look at our volume on here, it's clear that we're starting to lose some ground with the volume. Of course, there's always the possibility that the volume does something like this and goes back up to this trend line, moving in this upwards direction on the volume. And of course, if we do see that, we should see the price do something like this to our price target of 17 cents. But without this extra spike in volume, I do expect prices to keep on falling. So our eyes are really looking as to what it does with this bullish trend line, what the price does with this bullish trend line going upwards, and this 100-hour moving average in blue. At the moment, we're sitting at 13 cents, so still a massive way above where we were at 6 cents just a week ago here on Dogecoin. But if we can't hold this bullish trend line and we continue to go down, then there shouldn't be too much stopping the price eventually retracing back to these kind of levels. So now, of course, we still know that Dogecoin has quite a lot of attention to it. If we just look at the news articles, for example, we see lots and lots of different news articles pouring in to make stories on Dogecoin. Stories coming in left, right, and center about how Dogecoin could be going higher and all that kind of thing, just to make the most of the attention that Dogecoin is getting right now. If we go on Google Trends as well, and of course Google Trends worldwide for the past 7 days, we can see that there's a clear downtrend with the search interest here for Dogecoin. Of course, this isn't a straight up sell signal or anything for Dogecoin, but it adds to the bigger picture about what is happening to the hype. And it looks like the hype is declining off. Of course, these are some of the lowest levels in hype since the 29th of October, so 4 days ago from now. And of course, unless Elon Musk tweets or something else happens to Dogecoin that would be that would bring the attention of people back to Dogecoin, then I see this going lower and lower into the future. And of course, our baseline level here, just before the pump ever occurred, so the 26th of October, we had a search interest of around 10 or 8, and now we're sitting at around 21 to 23. So we're about double, just over double the search interest that we had before Elon Musk acquired Twitter, and before all the headlines, and before Dogecoin started pumping. So we could always see this pump back up if Elon Musk were to tweet, but really that's the only condition where I can see Dogecoin continuing its rally in the upwards direction with an Elon Musk tweet or Elon Musk doing something with Dogecoin on Twitter. Otherwise, I do believe the Dogecoin pump is running out of steam. Of course, it could very well hit our price target of 17 to 18 cents there if we do get one more pump here on Dogecoin, but if we get no new attention here on Dogecoin, then we should see the prices do something like this, where it starts falling below some key levels like this bullish trend line that we have here, and we start a new trend looking like this. It could be a slow, gradual decline, as there are a lot of people who do like Dogecoin and believe in Dogecoin and hold Dogecoin, but at the same time, we're going to see people who are up in profits still start to take their profits from when they bought Dogecoin over the past few weeks and months and are in profit right now. So, and of course, another really, really big thing that I'm looking out for here on Dogecoin is what happens with the interest rate decision that's coming out today at 6 p.m. UTC. So at the time of making this video, that's in about 5.5 hours from now. And that's going to be an interest rate. That's going to be a decision whether to hike the interest rate once again and by how much. And of course, the last few times now, we've been hiked by 75 basis points in the interest rate. So that's a very, very steep hike that we've had over the past few months. And of course, has suppressed a lot of the prices on cryptos and stocks. And so if the interest rate decision that comes out in 5.5 hours says that we've got a 75 basis point hike once again, then again, that shows that the Fed is not yet releasing the gas pedal on these hikes. And that could be short-term bearish. Of course, what we'd expect to see is a lot of volatility. So, when the report does come out, we should see large candles, large price movements in the price of Dogecoin and all other cryptocurrencies for that matter. And we could see the price shoot up. We could see the price shoot up in the very short term. However, over a period of days and weeks, the 75 basis points interest rate hike should suppress the prices of cryptocurrencies, and that includes Dogecoin as well. But if we get a lower interest rate hike of say 50 points, then we should see a more bullish picture for the coming days and weeks. Of course, if we see a 50 basis point hike, and of course, if we see this 50 basis point hike, then we should see a much more bullish picture on cryptocurrencies and stocks over the course of the coming days and weeks. And we should be able to see this bullish trend at least continued on over that period, so for the few days and weeks that it has going. Of course, other cryptocurrencies would probably react to this information also bullish. So on Bitcoin, for example, we should see a triangle breakout to the upside if it is a 50 basis points hike instead of a 75 points one. And of course, if Bitcoin is going in a bullish direction, then the chances are we should see similar price action here in Doge as well, because whenever Bitcoin makes a major price move, whether it's bearish or bullish, we do see some correlation through altcoins, and Dogecoin is no exception. So I would expect to see a much more bullish bias. I would expect to see this bullish bias continue to go up if we see a lower than expected interest rate hike of 50 points instead of 75 points that everyone is expecting. And we should see the prices be able to follow a trend at least in a somewhat bullish pattern. It doesn't have to be this very steep one, but in a somewhat bullish pattern for the next few days here on Dogecoin. But if we see that 75 points on the interest rate, then we could see prices tank a lot further if we don't see any new attention come to Dogecoin. So no more Elon Musk tweet and declining search interest, and we would see Dogecoin do something like this, where we'll see the prices go back down to at least 8 cents here on Dogecoin. That is my opinion for where I think the prices could go down to if we do not see anything to encourage new buyers to come in on Dogecoin, and if we see that 75 basis points rate hike. So those are the things I'm really looking out for. Just to kind of recap on everything, We're still above this bullish trend line, which is bullish, and we are still above this 100-hour moving average, but we've come below. We're starting to rest below this 50-hour moving average, which is a bearish sign, considering that it held the price up until now throughout this whole pump. So we've broken this key level, this 50-hour moving average, but we're still above the 100-hour moving average and this bullish trend line. Of course, the volume still looks okay. We could still hit this trend line going in the upwards direction if we see some new attention come to Dogecoin, so a new Elon Musk tweet or something like that. But if we continue to head in this more bearish direction, then that's obviously going to be a very bearish sign. And if we connect this high here to this high here, then we could be following a trend that looks like this on Dogecoin, and that would obviously be very bearish. So I'd look for the volume to break through this and to continue this upwards direction represented by the orange line if I am still bullish. And of course, just to add to everything, I want to show you some indicators. So if I show you the RSI, for example, what I think we could be seeing is some sort of divergence. So obviously, if we connect the peaks on here on the RSI, we could be seeing a divergence in the sense that this is going in a downwards direction and this is going in an upwards direction. So over the exact same time frame, if we connect the peaks on the price, the peaks are connected by an upwards trending line, so a bullish trend line there. But with the same time frame on the RSI indicator, that same trend line is going in a downwards direction, so a bearish direction. And this could be a potential bearish sign. It shows weakness in the momentum here. So basically, when we see a bearish divergence like this, it shows that even though the prices are increasing, the momentum is decreasing. So we are potentially seeing momentum running out, and that's why I emphasize that it's very important for new attention to come back into Dogecoin, whether Elon Musk tweet or something like that, because we need this momentum to continue going upwards in order for us to be bullish and to reach our price targets. So, and the MACD as well, just to get this indicator up, is a similar momentum indicator which shows how much momentum there is. And of course, if we see a bearish divergence on here, then the same. And of course, if we have a look on the MACD, we can join these peaks here with this bearish trend line that's going down. And if we have a look on the same time frame on the price, we get the same bearish divergence. So RSI, MACD are two momentum indicators, and they're both printing a bearish divergence, showing that momentum could be running out here. So two more bearish indicators showing us that we're lacking momentum going in the upwards direction, which is understandable, of course, because, you know, this pump in the first place was driven by hype. So kind of my final verdict with everything, of course, we have the interest rate decision coming out in 5.5 hours from making this video. So just off that and that alone, I'm not holding any Doge because the volatility on here will be kind of unpredictable and a little bit crazy. It could mean that we see some sort of very short-term pump over the few hours after the decision is made, or we could see a dump in the same time frame. But I cannot say which way it's going to go, but it's going to be very volatile. So I'm going to be sitting out just for that reason alone. Looking at the rest of the indicators, I am bullish by 2 counts in the sense that we're in this bullish direction. We're held up by this bullish trend line still and this 100-hour moving average, but it's kind of bearish how we've broken below this triangle. We've lost this 50-hour moving average, and we're seeing declining volume, and we're seeing bearish divergences on the MACD and the RSI, signaling that momentum is running out here on Dogecoin, and that we could be seeing a new, more bearish trend in the near future. Now, of course, I'm also looking out for what Elon Musk does, and I'm also looking out for the Google Trends to see what the search interest is for Dogecoin, because at the end of the day, this pump on Dogecoin is fueled by attention. So if Dogecoin were to get more attention, then I can see the prices going higher. But until then, I am probably more bearish than I am bullish here on Dogecoin. So that is kind of my verdict on everything. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it is, then be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you are bullish or bearish on Doge. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.